Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Devora and today we're going to be talking about July's birthstone, the ruby. July's birthstone is one of the most wanted birthstones. Ruby is one of the 4 gemstones alongside diamonds, emerald, and sapphires. Unlike other months that have multiple birthstones, ruby is the sole birthstone for July. The word ruby comes from the Latin word ruber, which translates into red. What makes a ruby special is the quality that exists within the ruby spectrum. There are rubies that cost very little, and there are rubies that can cost millions of dollars. So you may be curious, what is the meaning of the July birthstone? Well, it's said that ruby actually helps with childbirth, and it represents love and the heart. Now, there are a couple places that are mined for rubies. The most vital region where rubies are mined is Southeast Asia. That's where excellent rubies of high quality were produced. Later came Vietnam and Mozambique that also became the major contributor. Through it all, however, Burma has led the way. For over 500 years, Burma has shown its ability to consistently produce rubies with stunning vibrancy and color. Like here. Burma rubies also have a soft red fluorescence, which promotes the soft beauty of the ruby. Here are a list of primary locations of ruby mines: Burma, Thailand, Afghanistan, Australia, Brazil, Madagascar, and Mozambique. Ruby is made of the mineral corundum, which is almost chemically identical to sapphire. Sapphire has iron and titanium, which gives it its blue. Ruby has chromium, which gives it its red. Corundum is actually colorless, but completely colorless examples of corundum are very rare. So instead, the crystals take in trace elements from around them. When chromium is added, this creates a vivid red color for the ruby. Chromium also adds the red fluorescence, which gives it a great intense color. The ruby was actually considered the greatest gemstone by both gemologists and scientists. It was actually a ruby that formed part of the world's first laser in 1960. On the Mohs hardness scale, right under diamond, a ruby comes in ranking at 9. So rubies are actually very durable and suitable for everyday wear. Ruby gems have a red color. Ruby gems have a red color. However, there can be different hues of red. 3 categories were made by expert jewelers of the colors of a ruby. The first category is a pinkish red ruby. Red is the more dominant hue in these stones. The pink color is just an overtone. Their saturation ranges from light to dark. The second category is red rubies. Red rubies are almost as precious as diamonds. They are predominantly red, but can have some color blemishes. Rubies in this category can appear light, medium, or dark. Of those 3, the most valued color is a medium red. That way, these rubies are not too dark and not too light. And now the third category is purplish red rubies. Purplish red gemstones have a trace of chromium and titanium traces. Chromium gives the ruby stone its red hue, while titanium will turn it purple. Still, red is more the dominant color, and the most popularly bought purplish red rubies are more medium and dark. Now, there are many types of rubies. It's not just one, believe it or not. There are the more wanted types and the less wanted types. It all goes by value. There is something called a Burmese ruby. They originate from Burma. So these gemstones boast a deep red color because they have a high chromium concentration. Now, an original Burmese ruby will always have a blemish. Another type of ruby is called a pigeon's blood ruby. These are the rarest because of their distinctive red hue. Unlike other rubies, pigeon blood rubies have a primary color, which is just red. They are the most unique and the most wanted rubies. Then there's the star ruby. These rubies have a star visible under certain angles caused by other metals and minerals. More sought after star rubies have clearly visible 6-rayed stars. Then we have the African rubies. These rubies are generally from Mozambique and Kenya. They have a purplish to red shade. However, the best rubies have a dark red color. African rubies come in many quality levels and sizes. Next is a Thai ruby. These rubies have traces of chromium and iron. That's why they have a darker tone. Thai rubies hail from Bangkok. Now, Tanzanian rubies. These come from Songea mines. Tinier rubies display a higher color intensity than the bigger rubies. These Tanzanian rubies are a lot more affordable. Madagascar rubies. These are really high quality gems in a reddish brown, orange, and red colors. And finally, Afghanistan rubies. These gemstones are mined from Jagdalek and Badakhshan. Each mine produces very unique rubies. For instance, Jagdalek rubies have a very light red to deep red color. And because of this, the gemstones boast distinctive properties not found in rubies from other regions. There are 4 factors that determine the quality of a ruby. Number 1, the color. The highest quality ruby has a deep red color, which is neither light nor dark. It's the most expensive ruby. Rubies that have a pink tone or a purplish tone, they are less in value. Number 2, clarity. Some rubies are heat treated or unnatural. Some rubies are heat treated or unnatural. Original rubies have thin intersecting inclusions, which are actually called silk. Rubies with no inclusions don't exist. A top quality ruby should have inclusions, but a star effect. But the inclusion should not interrupt the ruby's brilliance. Number 3, the carat. Gem quality rubies are actually rarer than diamonds. Anything beyond 1 carat is rare. Hence, the more carats a stone has, the more expensive it'll be. And number 4, cut. Ruby crystals from various mines have different shapes, and those shapes are definitely taken into consideration when being cut, which is why the most popular cuts for rubies are ovals and cushion cuts. The less popular cut for rubies are round, pear, marquise, and emerald cut. Now I want to give you a couple tips when buying a ruby. Consider the color. Like I mentioned before, a medium red ruby color is very nice, but it will be more expensive. Be careful not to buy a sapphire when you're in the market for a ruby. If a corundum crystal looks more pinkish or purplish than red, it's not a ruby. That's a sapphire. To ensure that you're getting a genuine ruby, keep in mind that pyrope is a common substitute, but is a lot softer than a ruby. Choose rubies with a colored stone report from GIA, Gubelin Gem Lab. Choose rubies sourced from fair trade mine companies, and look for rings made from precious metals like white gold or platinum. These metals don't steal the ruby's glamour like yellow would. Make sure to keep in mind when cleaning your ruby not to use heat. Only try to use warm water and mild dish soap as a cleaning method. And you can scrub with a soft bristle toothbrush and let it air dry. So happy birthday to whoever is born in July. Congrats on having one of the most precious stones as your birthstone. If you learned something new about rubies or you're interested in hearing about your own birthstone, if you're born in July, don't forget to leave a comment, like and subscribe. Let us know which birthstone to do next. Hope you enjoyed.